Over the last couple of months, I've been traveling around having a look at how iPad is changing the world and changing the world here in South Africa. We've looked at the effect it's having on little kids, on bigger school kids. We've gone to a business university. We've been to fun events, and it is changing the world. Well, here we've gone into a business to see the difference that it can make. We're at Harcourts, South Africa. It's a property company, and I can't wait to see how it's working out. Tell us about the apps that you developed and why you developed them, Anton.
We're a real estate company in South Africa, and we've developed 3 apps. We've identified the need for our sales agents to develop a listing presentation app, for our rental agents to develop the inspection app, and then obviously we developed the app for our agents on the go. So basically those agents on the go in the field out there that need to manage their contacts and their tasks and their day-to-day living, managing their business. Just to ensure that there's better productivity out there, that we know our agents really can use these stuff to make them more productive, but also to make them more professional.
How long have you been using the iPad, Charmaine?
I've been using the iPad application for about 2 years.
Can you imagine going backwards now to the old system?
Absolutely not. A lot of paper running around up and down. With the iPad, you basically have it mobile. It's with you all the time, so you can service your client right there and then, rather than having to run back to the office, print a whole lot of stuff, bring it back again. So much more easy.
Okay, Charmaine, show me how the iPad would enable you to let me sell my house.
Okay. Property has no recommended retail price. So basically the information that we get from this application will help us to decide what the right price would be for you to go to the market at for your property. So basically your property is in here listed, and it'll show us what comparable properties have sold in the area that surrounds this particular property. It'll tell you what the price was, the date that it was sold, and with your market knowledge of the area that you're working in, you'd obviously know how comparable those properties are to the subject property.
That's the list in the area.
That's the list in the area. It also maps them with little blimps, which is actually quite nice, so that the seller can see exactly where those properties were. And if you click on them, it'll give you the address, the earth size, the type of property, the price it's sold for, and the date that it sold. Comes up in a graph form of how prices have moved along, and tells you exactly what the average price is at the moment, 3711. It also helps us develop a marketing plan specifically suited for you and your property. So we can pick the type of for sale boards that you're wanting, the type of print media that you're looking at, virtual tours, camera packages, all of that basically.
And you can do this all with the iPad?
All with the iPad while you're sitting down with your seller. You also then can prepare your calendar for your
campaign.
For your campaign, so that the seller knows exactly what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, when the press advert's coming out, when the virtual tour is going to happen, and you email it directly to them from there. So everyone's got a copy of the plan.
You must be able to do 2-3 times as much work as you used to.
Absolutely. The nice thing about this, John, is that if you're dealing with a buyer who wants to buy a property with you, but also needs to sell a property first before he can purchase, right there and then you can load up this property, you can get the stats, do the whole thing, and get cracking with it immediately without having to run back to the office all the time.
It's difficult to go from having what you've got now to basically going back to a paper system. The people suddenly realize all these possibilities that they've always dreamed about. Suddenly you can see all these dots being put together. I just said this is going to change our business, and it has changed our business.
The main thing is productivity. Where tasks used to take 2 or 3 days to do, we can get them done in 1 day now. So it saves time, it saves money.
Let's have a look now. I'm a landlord and I'm going to rent property. Show me some of the things you would do.
Once we've got a tenant for your property, our application is really based on inspections. It's called e-inspect, and it's a system whereby we can do the inspections on site. We go through, we set up an inspection for you on an in-going inspection. If your property's got 4 bedrooms, we would load it as a 4-bedroom property. And so the inspection report is specific to your property. It's not a generic thing that we use on every property. It's very specific, and it records the exact state of your particular property.
And can you photograph as well using this?
Yes. So all you do over here is you click on the little camera if you're in the lounge, and you would
Take it up.
Literally take a picture. There we go. Take the picture, and it's recorded in the application. Once we've completed the report, what we would do is the agent would basically sign on the iPad like they would over there, and the same thing for the tenant. There are the signatures, and what we then do is create a document, and we would email that document. There's your document, an exact record of your property, and we send that out, and it's on its way to you as we speak, and to the tenant.
Think of the time it saves.
Yeah.
And how do clients react to the iPad technology?
Well, I think it fits in perfectly with the image that we're trying to project in the marketplace. We are professional. There's certainly a professional way of doing business, and I think once clients see what we can actually do and how easy it becomes for the tenants, for the landlords, they're suitably impressed.
Why was iPad the tablet of your choice?
Well, basically that came from our developers, and they just decided, you know, they prefer to go with a company like Apple. It seems like the development was easier. Join forces with the top brand out there.
So Charmaine, sum up what the iPad has meant to your job.
It's meant that I'm able to price counsel my seller immediately, list their property immediately, have the facts and the evidence that I need in order to help them set the right marketing price, do the marketing plan for them, recommend all of our services that we have on offer right at the touch of a button.
Well, it's the same old story wherever we go, and it's the same story here at Harcourts, South Africa, a busy property company. I had a perception of chaos, of hassle, of papers, of wasting time in order to get the business done. And yet with the iPad and specifically designed apps, we've seen the incredible change, and the change in productivity, the improvement in productivity is absolutely staggering. And it's a clear message: if you're not using the iPad, then you're busy missing the boat.